This ain't no backyard story. This ain't no quiet tale. It's the fence show in Vegas, where legends set sail. Wood or vinyl, steel or aluminum shine. Automatic gates, the cutting edge design. Brian's here and you know he's a man. Cowboy hat tip got the master plan. It's the #1 show in the nation. FanShow.com, it's your destination. I'm still AG, fans on display. Come to Vegas, don't let this slip away. The strip's got its glitz, but we've got the grid. Access control so slick you won't want to quit. Every post, every panel, standing tall and proud. At the fence show, we're drawing a crowd. From ranch style dreams to city gates, this is where innovation waits. Vegas lights, the desert's call. Fence show's got it all. It's the #1 show in the nation. FanShow.com, it's your destination. I'm still AG, fans on display. Come to Vegas, don't let this slip away. It's the #1 show in the nation. FanShow.com, it's your destination. I'm still AG, fans on display. Come to Vegas, don't let this slip away. Come to Vegas, don't let this slip away.
Yeah. Does that not get you excited or what?
That was legit.
Hey, so we got Chris and his boss Desiree here today.
Yeah.
Not kid ourselves. So this is really cool because I mean everybody loves you. I think the first time I really met you guys was at the fence show this last year coming up. So that was really cool. Tell everybody that doesn't already know you though a little bit about you guys and about Ansley Staining.
Yeah. So
We're based out of New Braunfels, Texas. We've been doing this for about 4 years. We're the small shop. We're in between San Antonio and Austin. So we hit up both places. We're a husband and wife team.
we tend to focus on high end. So our minimum standard is 6-inch cedar pickets with metal posts. We don't go anything lower than that. And standard wise, composites, big one that we've been pushing, and we love to install.
So it's not just staining. I mean, you guys, there's some companies that just do staining. You guys started off in fencing?
So we started off unsure, right, of what we wanted to do. But it was forced from COVID, right? COVID, I started doing handyman stuff, and I realized to do what I love, which was staining, right, when I was in the field. But as I grew and my crews grew, I realized we wanted more, and I wanted to take on the fencing industry.
Yeah. So when did you, though, first realize that staining could be a real business? I mean, I think a lot of people don't realize that at all. They're just building fence. They drive off and they don't even realize that there's a whole nother vertical to it. When did you first realize that could possibly be an actual real business? So
I got two things on that. When I was 18, I started my own staining company with a friend, right?
Yeah.
Wood Defender trailer, everything.
Yeah.
And it didn't last, but learned a lot of lessons in that period of time.
Yeah.
So when we started this again, I kind of went back to what I already knew. But when we really started pre-staining was last year. So pre-staining is where we pre-stain all of our lumber before we build. And that was like a game changer for me.
Let's tell the actual paint the picture of this story. He did government and solar commercial jobs. COVID happened. We just bought our house, just had a baby, and he lost his job.
You mean this one right
there's Cody.
Oh,
There's one of ours. So we really didn't know what to do. He was a cancer survivor, so we were super scared sending him out in the field. He was kind of doing a lot of different things. Decks, fences.
So talk to me about talk to us about that cancer survival. So what happened?
Yeah, so a week before my first deployment, actually, I was in the Marine Corps, and a week before I got diagnosed with stage 3 melanoma, I got pulled off straight into treatment. Right, treatment then was surgeries, removing lymph nodes and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, by the grace of God, I was saved. I had multiple scares that it was stage 4, every time our church and our people around us would pray, and then those spots would disappear when they'd go in to do the biopsies.
There were 4 different scares that it lit up on the PET scan that the doctors explained. And he's like,
so just you guys are starting a business. You've had a massive cancer. That's crazy. How did you get through that challenge? You're starting a business or you're trying to do something, and then you're dealing with a medical condition. Talk to us. How did you get through that?
Yeah. I mean, her a lot, mainly, right? Her and God in reality. So just having faith, hope, and a caretaker is a big thing. So
I had a background and I did EMT and I was a first responder. So the medical stuff didn't scare me. He's lucky that I didn't at the sight of blood or all the gory things, the wet to dry packings, the surgery care.
Caretakers are a big deal. I tell my wife all the time, I go, it's me that got you through it. But
absolutely.
No, that's something. So you kind of did this out of necessity, basically. I mean,
absolutely. I at the time I was doing very well. I was a project manager for a residential solar company. Before that, I was doing government commercial solar, and I was a project manager for that. But I was
flying all over,
traveling too much. Yeah, traveling too much. So she wanted me to get a local job, so I went residential, and I enjoyed doing solar. And everything that took. But the company I was working for, I was pretty much doing all their operations management. So when it came COVID hit, they told me I lost my job. I was like, I can do this on my own, man. But before that, I didn't really have an entrepreneur mindset. I really didn't. And it changed everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I saw him doing a bunch of different projects, and I kind of teamed up and helped him. I said, we need to make this a niche. We need to narrow it down because jack of all trades, master of none. And so I helped him circle back and say, you know what, you did the staining thing. Why don't we make something of this?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was the real turning point for you guys? You've gone through trying to change something in your own personal life, minus the business. So what was the real turning point where you're like, you know what, we're going to do this and we're going to focus on it? And tell us a little bit, what was that turning point?
I would say in 2020 to 22, that was the period where it started out as I'm just doing this to get by. 2022, we did the actual breakdowns of how much we were making and selling each month, right? And what we were actually
a reality check, right? Yeah. Kicking the nuts,
And we were like, you know what? We really should do this, right? So we should like actually like full, which we already were, but just more dedication, right?
Less subcontractor, more.
Yeah,
He's the lead.
and that's when we filed for our LLC and got all the paperwork together. And we're, you know what? We're the contractors in New Braunfels now. So,
Right. You know, Las Vegas fence, like even when I first, even before that, either fence companies and stuff I've been working on for decades. When I first started, I think like a lot of us, I mean, it goes right down to ads in Craigslist, or I mean, you know, standing in Home Depots and looking for people that are buying materials, saying, "Hey, you need someone to install that." So, you know, so the typical job we had when we started is typically not the same type of jobs that we do now. As our licensing changes, our insurance, and our experience. What do you think the typical job you do now, whether it be the fence or staining, is compared to what it was when you first started?
Oh man. Okay. So I actually just had this pop up on my memories. It was in the neighborhood. This was 2022 or 20, I think it was 21. It was in that time frame, but I was offering a fence stain for $300 in labor with the customer purchasing the material. And I looked at that, I was like, what? And still nobody did it. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. But I guess, but now, right, our average tickets for a stain only, not a stain and seal, 1,400, right? A clean and brighten stain and seal, 2,200 average. Fence bill anywhere between 7 and like 18,000 on average, right? So a lot has changed for sure. Yeah.
What advice? So I definitely want to get this from you guys, because now, I mean, you're one of the rare people that kind of started off with something else, branched off into this, and I know there's people that go straight into one or the other. You know, maybe they're doing decks and then they start staining fence. So not everybody goes, and I don't know why, but they don't go straight from, you know, doing fences to staining the fences and stuff. So what advice would you give someone, you know, if they wanted to start doing staining? I mean, is there some, you know, should I go do some of these staining universities? I know Caleb's got his stuff going. Wood Defender does his stuff. I mean, there's these staining university stuff, and I'm not doing that as a brand or something. But do they all have their own stain training? Is there something you would?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, stain and seal experts is what we're about to go to this year. We haven't gone before, but we have gone to Wood. I've gone to Wood Defender twice, right? And I would just recommend any training, right? Any training that is near you, I would do, right? First, I would make sure you like it, though, because there's a lot of guys that only do the building for the reason that they hate getting dirty, right? They hate not dirty in the aspect of like sawdust, right? But dirty in the aspect of stain, right? Sticky. And so people just can't stand it. But it's definitely worth it, right? It's you know, at a point in 2022, we realized that our average sales were like 40,000 a month, and we were mainly only doing staining back then, right? So I mean, you can definitely just make that, you know, one company, right? It's possible. But if you're already doing fencing, and it's a lot easier to be like, well, I can also stain it, right?
I think you have to really love the product too. We really fell in love. Hi, Ashley. I see Ashley's on. After years and years of him trying and using different products, you know, driving by the same job sites, you can see what lasts. And Expert is one of those brands where we drive by and we're like, we did that fence and it still looks amazing. So
looks amazing every time. We did an HOA 4 years ago now. Well, three, about 3.5, right? And it still looks brand new. Driving by, it looks like we just did it yesterday, and we love to see that. And that's an oil-based semi-solid, and that's rare, right? Because most oil-based fade fairly quickly.
Caleb was on here last week. I don't know if you
nice.
saw that. Yeah. So while we got Ashley on here, I know it looks like you're still on here, which is good. Drop a comment in there with the information on the Staining University, because I'll be going to that as well. So
are you going? We're going.
I'll be up there.
Really?
So
that's so exciting.
So let's get Ashley to drop a link or something to the information in there, and we'll kind of share that up there for everybody to see too.
Can I shift gears a little bit? And having like really passionate about fencing, not as passionate as Brian, because his passion's huge. Desiree, here's what, my daughter is trying to get into fencing. What advice do you have for women out there? How do they get into the fencing industry? Is it worth it? Like, give us a little bit about, so I feel like you're so supportive of what you guys have done and where you're going, but tell the women out there, because I really feel that there's a great movement happening. FWA women, shout out to them. They're doing an amazing job.
Absolutely. Yes.
How do we encourage the future women?
My advice would be is what I think was a game changer for our business is when I lost the mindset of I'm just a mom, because we had 2 little ones. Yep. And I had a background in marketing, and women have a really good eye for photography. They're always taking pictures. And I don't know if you've ever sent one of your guys out to take a picture of a job site and it's like sideways, you know what I mean? So I think women have a lot to bring to the table with marketing, the pictures, customer care. Just that's what I did for our company. I did the branding. I designed our logos. I designed our trucks. We had them tweaked with a local company who tied it all together and made my vision come to life. But for me, as a female, I'm really creative, and I enjoyed tapping into that creative side and bringing it and teaming up and making this vision a reality. Mm-hmm. And I think women have a lot to bring to the table honestly, it's kind of hard being a female in a male-led industry, but at the same time, who's doing the data entry and the customer contact and following up? You guys kind of need us. So. Yeah.
Let's face it, you know what the logo on the side of your truck would look like if it was just up to Chris and I? It would just be him and I with our hats on like this. Like, right on the side of the truck, right?
Well, or if he was in the Marine Corps, use the crayons and color a picture. No, I'm just kidding.
Mine would have been eating a crayon.
Using anally stains good for your health. You care about your health, don't you?
Yeah.
It would be an advertisement spread at the same time. So,
And back to the women of the Fence Workers Association, I had no idea about them. And I go to the fence show and I walk and I sit at this booth with my baby and I meet some of our best people. And I'm like, these are my people. Where have they been all my life? Yes. Yeah. Dear and I, Veronica, I didn't even know Veronica was leading in a baddie in the women's or in the fence industry. And I was just so blown away. I was so excited to see that setup. I've never seen anything like it. And it got me really pumped up for going back home and just knowing that there's this female group out there that,
Yeah, I remember my wife. She showed that to me. Kidnapped your baby.
I know.
She's just like, we're gonna babysit tonight. We're bringing it back to the room. Yeah. I'm like, no, we're gonna go hang out with everybody. She's like, no, we're just gonna babysit.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that was a really good trip.
We absolutely enjoyed the fence show. We came back fired up. We made a lot of really good connections.
One thing I'll say, anybody getting into the fencing industry or even just in business in general, right, is it's going to be hard and it's going to suck at least sometimes, right? Sometimes it's going to be hard, but sometimes it's going to be amazing.
I think that's with any business goes. Like today, one of our trucks went down, so they had to trade trucks out. We had to drop it off at the automotive shop. Mm-hmm. I think just being a business owner, you just have to roll with things in the face of adversity.
Show up no matter what.
And I think one of the biggest lessons you learned from that was when you're facing cancer. Let's be real.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely been a passion of FWA, and how FWA really got fired up was because I realized that when I started the fence company, I didn't focus as much on the resources, even for myself. So realizing that it's a great industry and it's one of those few industries that we have to protect, where you can be installing fence for somebody, but you have also the option of starting your own company and you can start off with just you and yourself or you and your brother and one truck working out of the back of your small pickup truck. 3 months later, you've got a full flatbed truck, and 6 months later you've got 2 trucks, and by the end of the year you've got 3 or 4. It depends on how hard you want to work. So I think it's worth protecting that, and it's it's something that anybody can get into, and you can make a good living for your family and have freedom, and get a house and get vehicles, get a boat if that's what you want. You can put your kids through school. It's a great industry. And I know, Sasha, you don't do a lot of wood, though. I mean, you sell, of course, you don't install fence. You obviously did a lot of installation stuff before in the past, but you never did a lot of wood. You do a lot of steel, right?
Right.
Yeah. So he likes to smell that galvanizing. So he doesn't want nothing to do with it.
Get right into the steel and just weld it up and get those fumes into you. But I'm a painter's son, so my dad owns it. So back in the day, when he was staining, it was all oil, and it would smell, right? And that was the lesson learned. When we would stain anything, because having been born into a painting family, you had to paint regardless if you wanted to or not.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about the staining today versus staining back in the day, where I think Caleb was talking a lot about, when you would stain back in the day, it wasn't that the stain was good. It had chemicals in it that were making it smell, right? So today it's a little different. You still want the oil-based stain, but it's different. Tell us a little bit about it.
So one of the big reasons I really switched to primarily using Expert is because of their low VOC content. And that essentially means just it doesn't have a bunch of added chemicals, right? And you can just tell if you go in the store, get an oil-based stain, read the ingredients, or open it and just smell it. You can tell. You can just tell the difference. And for a long time, I would just buy the store-bought stuff, right? I would say from like 2020 to 22, right? When I really started trying to get brand recognition, making sure we're offering the best products possible.
We went through a lot of it, even Cabot.
We used everything.
Thompson.
And there's pros and cons for some of them, right? Like polyurethane or hardening surface stuff. Me personally, though, if it was my choice, I would never stain anything unless it was with oil. Expert Stain and Seal, true oil-based stain, right? That is the best way to go. And, back in the day, from what I've heard back in the day, they used to use like just tar and stuff, right? Or motor oil was a big thing.
Ryan's using it.
What do you mean?
Trucks out.
Hey, man, it works. If it works, it works, right?
No, it doesn't work. Don't encourage it.
I grew up in Elmer's glue and magic markers. So once they took all the scent and the smell and the chemicals out of the stain, I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, there you go.
How are you supposed to have a good time?
Oh, come on.
So
that's not that program. This is not that.
Even though there's low VOC, you still should wear a mask, Brian.
Okay.
Please, safety.
Where's OSHA?
So before we wrap it up, you guys, tell us, where's Ansley Staining going? Where's it going next? Where's it going in the future? What do you got?
Right.
You got some plans? Anything big happening?
So you go ahead.
Well, this past year, Christopher finally got 100% retired from the VA. So I think the next step forward would be trying to aim for those government contracts, connecting him with the veterans-owned SBA. I forget what it's called.
The certifications.
The certification,
for the
and then
veteran,
being able to take on
disabled veteran statuses for government commercial projects. Yeah,
nice.
That's our goal. It's a huge transition, right? From what I've been looking at, but I think it's worth it, and I think. My goal is to be in multiple locations. I want to be in Dallas. I want to be in Houston, and I want to be, North Austin. So that's my goals. I
think it's achievable. There you go, you guys. If you run into Desiree or Chris anywhere at one of these shows, be nice, because you never know, you might be working for these guys one day. So
where can people find out what you guys are up to? learn a bit about what you're doing? Like, do you have a website? Like, do you have anything that we can follow?
Yeah, so standingisthename.com is our website. Pretty easy to remember.
We're on social media, Facebook, Ansley Staining.
You can also search standingisthename.com on Facebook, and you'll find us that way as well.
Awesome.
But yeah, follow us, follow me, follow her, follow our Facebook. We're constantly posting. So
there you go. So circling back though to the women of FWA, we happen to have some in the house. So one thing the women of FWA know how to do is have a good time. So let's bring some of them in, huh?
Oh, they're so fun.
And look who's joining us, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, look out.
The awesome crew.
But hey, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. You guys are definitely welcome to hang out in the background, and we'll pull you up towards the end if you guys want to hang out. But we appreciate you guys. We're looking forward to seeing what happens with you guys. And I know my wife's looking forward to seeing the baby again soon. So we'll run into
is she going to?
I think she's going to be coming up to the same university as well. Is last time I heard. But
nice.
Awesome.
I don't have any control over that. She goes where she wants to go.
That's true. Hey, Desiree, I actually, as soon as we're done with the rest of our live, we will be posting the room arrangements for the Women of FWA retreat. I'll make sure to shoot you a message to let you know so we can get you registered.
Yes.
Sweet.
That would be great.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Guys.
All right. What do we got going on here, you guys?
Oh, no.
What's going on here, you guys? So supposedly,
I'm nervous.
You're nervous. I'm nervous. Look at me.
You're sandwiched between them. Good luck.
Supposedly, there's some hard to ask questions, and if anybody that knows Veronica knows, if she says she's not going to tell you what the questions are prior, you're not getting them.
You're in trouble.
It doesn't really
You're
matter.
in trouble.
Yeah.
You're literally in trouble.
I'm so scary.
so
I'm glad I'm in another continent at the moment. I'm safe.
I just want everybody to know right now I'm taking the fifth.
Do it.
There's absolutely no taking the fifth. So I think the main thing that we're really going to touch base on and ask the questions is there's so many, I guess, conflicting information that we're constantly hearing, that we're constantly seeing, and so many conflicts, and so-and-so hates so-and-so, and so-and-so hates so-and-so. And so we're just going to dive into them. We want your honest, raw, instant feedback.
I'm just putting my hands up right now.
Wake me up when this is over.
Yeah. It is live. I'm sure there's people doing screen records right now. So even if you delete this, I'm sure it's still going to live out there.
Is it hot in here? I'm parched. I need a drink.
Have some water. I mean,
I got a little bit of a leftover beer, I think.
Hydrate now. Hydrate.
A cigarette butt in it, but I don't care.
Yeah. All right. So we're just going to dig into it. Michaela and I are going to kind of go back and forth on these questions. We've really taken some time to think that addressing these directly. So there is a lot of industry chatter about relationships between organizations. From your perspective, how are you approaching the noise?
I want to hear this one, Brian, please.
You know what I think is interesting is I think people try to manifest like a war or battles between associations. And, we even hear people say, why do you need two associations? I'm like, well, there's always been more than two. There's tons of associations. We already have 3 or 4. You've got, obviously you've got us, you got NAFCA, you've got AFA, you've got the Canadian one, you've got WASA. I mean, you could go on and on and on about there's always been associations and groups, but right now they seem to be focused on thinking that there's only 2 main. I get it that we built ourselves up to have we probably have more members than any other association if you talk about just actual raw members.
Right.
And I think that kind of grew really quick and it elevated us to maybe a different level in some people's minds, but we're no different. I mean, add all the other associations together. And you've heard me say this before, we're only reaching 2-3% of the industry probably. I mean, even if you want to stretch it to 5, that's not even enough to say we represent the industry.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, it's really not, it's not what everybody thinks, that there's not this war, this battle. I mean, you'll hear, I have phone calls every once in a while with Michael Reed from the executive director from AFA. And if you saw me and him hanging out or talking, we have a lot of stuff in common, stuff with our personal medical stuff with our wives and things like that. And in fact, we'll send each other a text message every once in a while saying, just thinking about you kind of thing. So there really isn't, we just work for different associations in a way, right? We just have different associations, and the associations have different points of view when it comes to certain things, but 95% of the stuff, it's the same.
Wait a minute. So you're saying it's okay to have a difference in opinion versus everyone else in the industry?
Yeah, you can vote for whoever you want in this country and still go have a beer with them afterwards, and it doesn't mean you're an enemy. So it's not what everybody thinks by any means. There is not a war going on between associations that I'm aware of. If there is, I may have blocked the noise out.
Well, that definitely tells us how you've approached the noise.
Yeah.
It's not just wars. It's like, who cares? At the end of the day, we're all in fencing, and all of us are passionate about is how do we take care of fencing women and men in our industry. And that's really what this is really all about. The noise is the noise. Brian's being very politically correct. I'll be unpolitically correct.
This is why we put Sasha on the screen.
Yes. So,
hang on, mute. Wait.
No.
yes, we'll be on mute. So it's okay. It's okay for people to have their opinions. And yes, people are going to say things. And yes, there's been things said that I believe are completely inappropriate and should not be said. But at the end of the day, if we're really honest with ourselves, we're in the fencing industry to take care of the industry. Yeah. So there's plenty of room for everybody. But if the noise and the conversation is exactly that, who cares? Like, we should all get along, because at the end of the day, all we care about is what's important, and that is defense industry.
But Sash, when somebody says something, it doesn't mean that is the association as a whole. I mean, that could just be somebody that's on a board, somebody that's part of a group or part of something else. It doesn't mean that is the stance of an association or of everybody in that organization. And I think we use that as a way to justify our actions towards somebody. Yes. And so we can say, hey, I didn't like what this person said, and they were person, so therefore I can justify my actions towards that other person because they're affiliated with somebody, and that's just a cop out. So you can be a shitty person,
but here's the but. One thing I've learned from you, Brian, FWA women, the one thing I've really learned is, at the end of the day, there's been a lot of chatter, and you can't just deny the chatter. And I'm a guy, I'm a little bit of a, I don't cause problems, but I don't like being told I can't do something, right? Yeah. Especially in the greatest country in the world. Tell me somewhere else, but in America, don't tell me I can't. One thing you've taught me is, at the end of the day, there is nonsense. Nonsense, it's like we could probably do a movie on, but at the end of the day, who cares? At the end of the day, we should all be able to sit in a room and go, hey, what are we doing this for? We're actually doing it to educate and encourage our industry to grow. Yeah. That's what this is about. The noise, I'm sorry, you can't deny the noise, and I'll be politically correct. There's a lot of noise that was inappropriate, actually. But at the end of the day, we're on the one, we're just trying to do what's right for our industry.
So, Sasha, we're going to filibuster this thing and just talk, okay? You and I back and forth. So they can't ask any more questions, okay? My turn.
That was the first one. I'm scared.
Timer. You got 30 seconds to answer.
I didn't.
Speaking of what's
I didn't give the floor.
No, but speaking about what's important, what actually matters the most right now for the fence industry as a whole?
What do I think matters the most?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I kind of said this with Desiree and Chris, is protecting the not just protecting, and sometimes people think I'm just trying to protect small businesses when I do this. I'm not. Small businesses, we are some of the toughest on the world.
Because, you don't have my title on here, so you got to watch the mouth.
So in order, I mean, you would have to be a tough son of a bitch to quit your job and decide you want to be a business owner, and much less if you don't have the backing of a large company or something else behind you that's funding this whole thing. You have to be one tough sucker. right?
Yes.
So we have to protect not that guy. That guy doesn't need a personal protection, somebody walking around with him. He can protect himself, right? We need to protect the ability for somebody to have the option to do this. And by doing that, we have to make our industry so we're not stifling innovation. We're not making the entry point into our industry so expensive, so difficult,
Right.
so many obstacles, so much red tape and all of that. And that is what I fight for. When I say small businesses, I mean for us the ability to have a small business. And
Absolutely.
that is what we're losing, not just in this industry, but other industries, because we're letting some of the larger companies, and again, this is not an attack on large companies. They're not doing anything illegal. They're not doing anything wrong. They're not doing anything you or I wouldn't do if we were trying to secure our businesses, right? And we're trying to grow our market share. They have shareholders. They have this stuff. They've got to grow a certain amount, or they're going to lose their business. They're going to get fired, right? So they're not doing anything wrong, but somebody has to be saying, hey, what about us? And I think that's what it is. So it's not that individual guy. No small business needs my help. These guys are tough, and they could do it on their own with or without me.
Well, and a lot of times I think that they don't even realize what's going on behind the scenes, sometimes. And I guess the best analogy I can do, you're out of town and your house floods, you have a broken pipe, you have no idea what you're going home to, and you come home and you've lost everything, or everything's underwater, and everything that you've known and everything that you've done has changed.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that. So we're going to keep rolling with this. So do you see FWA and other organizations serving the same purpose or different needs within the industry?
Answer that one, Brian. I want to hear this one.
I'll say this. I'll say, you know what? Everybody deserves representation or not even representation. Because again, I don't think anybody needs it. The big companies don't need our help, and the small companies don't really need our help. But I think that just like we need to protect the right for small businesses to operate, we need associations that represent the large manufacturers and the large distributors and the companies that can afford to buy all the sponsorships and throw all the money at everything and do sponsored golf trips and buy 50. I know now I'm in the show business now, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you, those are the ones that buy 100 by 100 booths. So if you're ever curious who's kind of behind some of that and wants to in a way stifle some of the innovations
time out, Brian, time out. Here's the one lesson why Founders Fence is so behind FWA and what you guys are doing is because the lesson is people still need a voice.
Yes.
You're very politically correct, and but at the end of the day, I still need a voice from look, we're a nobody company. We're a small supply company trying to work in our industry. And without FWA and FWA women's voice, my daughter wouldn't be in fencing, right? That's a big passion for me. Is how do I get that's the new generation see that, hey, dude, I want to do this. And without that voice, no one needs anyone. But we do, actually. We need a voice. We need someone to go, hey, no, Sash, it's okay. You need this. And the one lesson I've learned with FWA is there are a lot of fencing companies that didn't know where to buy fence. And that is wrong in my books. So what FWA did wasn't attacking nothing. It was about, hey, who cares about the noise? Let's get together as an organization and as a group. We're all doing the same thing, trying to provide for our families. How do we do it? And that's what you guys did.
Yeah, I agree. I guess when it comes down to it, like I said earlier, nobody really needs us. Nobody really needs. And we're in business. We're going to continue on. And I went my entire life in business until 3-4 years ago. I didn't know anything about associations. I couldn't have told you a single board member. I've probably been to one trade show in 20 years. So I mean, we can obviously succeed without it. It's just nice to have people you can call in a community, and once you get involved, you realize that all of them. It doesn't matter if you go to a fence show, a fence tech. What did they have the one in Reno, the West Coast one, or if you go to a WASA show, or if you go to the Staining University, you go to these things and you feel connected to it, and sometimes it helps get your family connected.
What about even World of Concrete or some of these other trade shows that aren't even directly related to the fence industry, and how welcoming and how all of a sudden a part of it, because they're really a part of us as well, even though it's not direct. So time's up on that answer, Michaela.
Let's see. So is there room in this industry for more than one organization to exist and still move things forward? And can FWA and other organizations serve the same purpose or different needs within the industry?
Yeah, I mean, I think more has to exist. I mean, otherwise, I mean, literally something has to come after FWA. Something has to come after AFA. Something has to come after NAFTA. All these other ones, we have to grow to a point where we need fresh ideas, fresh voices, and stuff has to evolve. And not everybody's going to get connected to one. So, I mean, I think I said earlier, we only connect with such a small amount of the industry.
Right.
We could have 100 more associations, and it wouldn't hurt our industry at all. It's going to get more people involved. If we had 100 more associations and they have all brought in 100 more people, we've got that many more people involved in our industry. That's a win-win. I mean, what is it? Just because an association, I mean, just because we have thousands of members doesn't make our association any better than somebody that has 5.
I am now having visions of Brian starting FWA of each state as
Yeah.
a different association, and I'm over here now. I'm
Stop,
panicking.
don't give him ideas.
But I
That's
think
true.
we screwed it up because we thought that if an association's bigger, it's going to have more pull, more influence, and it does. But we're not using it for the right purpose. We're not using it to leverage the suppliers and the manufacturers, saying, look, we're representing the industry. You're going to sell to all of them, our members. You're going to sell to everybody. Instead, we're using it to stand in front of Senate committees and say, we represent the industry and we want these laws and these regulations passed. So we're not using it for, I mean, when all these associations start, they start for a reason and a purpose. And I think even like some of the larger ones now, they started because they were issues getting concrete or something, right? Well, when did we stop solving these issues?
Yeah.
When did we pivot from solving actual issues like during COVID when everybody was trying to get fence materials to trying to get laws and regulations passed, and we care more about what public consumer protection groups want than we do about our own members? When did it pivot from that? And I think that is truly my passion kind of behind it is, and guess what? A board's going to take over FWA one day and they're going to vote me out because you know why? Is because there's no ROI in supporting Brian. I'll tell you that right now. Go ask my wife. If you guys ever want to learn how to take a $3 to $5 million fence company down to $1 million and invest everything you got, sell your vacation home, do all that, and end up with less money in the bank, follow me. I could write a book. How to do that. So as soon as a board ever forms formally around me at the FWA, they're going to boot me out. So someone else is going to have to start another association to keep out going what I'm doing.
We did under you. It's women of FWA. Okay.
Yep,
so,
we just did it. Yeah, we're gonna vote you out tomorrow. Yeah.
So I guess real basic, black and white, like you have 1 minute to answer this question. Tell us the difference, like the nitty gritty, the foundation. What is the difference between FWA and the other organizations that are out there? And I am timing you right now. Go ahead.
Well, I think most of them started to solve a problem, and I kind of just wanted to get everybody together and have a good time. And I wanted to have some events and some parties, and then everybody's like, well, you have to do education and you have to do all that. I don't want to do education. I'm 20, 30 years doing fencing. I know how to build fence, and I think most fence companies don't want to be told how to build fence either. So, but then everybody threw all this stuff on there. We know how to take something great and make it not fun in this industry sometimes. You know what I mean? Why can't we get together and go to an expo when we can all, have some drinks in the expo, do this, go to our dinners and do this? We have to add this 3 days of all this stuff that I don't want to do prior. So, but everybody wants, so we got to do it anyway. But I think
so full of crap. But you're only got 30 seconds left. So really tell me.
I guess what really separates us is I stay, if you follow me at all and you follow what we're doing, I stay true to it. And I would rather sink FWA at the bottom of Lake Mead than sell out. And I don't think a lot of people can say that. And I think that you're never going to get me to stray from the fact that I think that if we're doing something, we have to be a little more transparent with how it's going to affect small fence companies. And I say small fence companies, I'm talking about down to one guy.
You're out of time.
Yeah. Sash, you.
No,
let Sash answer it. No.
I was waiting. You had a minute. You just
and I even let it go over. Go ahead, Michaela.
Well, so I guess with that, do you personally view another organization as competition?
No, not at all. In fact,
Sure? Because there's a lot of hubbub about how.
It's not. It's not. I mean, if you watch, I mean, let's face it. There's two major shows that happen every year. We can't pretend that's not the case. I mean, obviously, we hope one day to be as big as the Fence Tech and AFA. They've been doing it for 20, 30 years, right? But our show is the second biggest event of the year. I mean, it's uncontested, right? So I still don't look at it as competition. I mean, the first year I was there, right? The second year, I mean, and every year I try to, I mean, if you talk NAFCAs at our show every year, we offer it to all the associations, including AFA, all of them, to swap booths with everybody. And I give them a free booth. Any association get a free booth at our show because I want people to come in and walk, and there's nothing more that I would love than see a bunch of AFA shirts walking around, a booth sitting there, and they could go to a FWA booth and see what they offer, go to that, join 1, join 2, join 3. How does it hurt? This isn't a zero-sum game. This isn't like, I mean, we treat it like it is, right? Mm-hmm. Even the shows aren't, the podcasts aren't, the magazines aren't. Nothing is a zero-sum game because it's not like a job on somebody's house that's going to, somebody's going to get the job and only one person's going to get to build the fence. One person's going to collect the money. No, you can join multiple associations. You can join multiple shows.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You can sit at multiple tables at the same time?
You could be on multiple boards if the
Wow.
association.
Whoa.
Listen. I'm telling you, there's no law against this unless
be able to.
Unless they
the
have.
Reality is what it is.
And if I'm sorry, if we're out we're all out to do the same thing and represent the industry. If you have a conflict of interest clause that says you can't be on another board and join mine, then
doesn't make sense.
Then you know what I mean? I mean, what does that say? You got to look into that. So I mean, and I don't even, obviously I would never say that. So I mean, it's nonetheless, and I'm not saying that happens in all of them, but I think that's my take on it.
Okay, so with that, let's talk about some other industry organizations.
Why is it all about other?
No, but we're talking about. Do you think, like, when you set this up? Do you think that, like, when you set this up and you set in the structure? Do you think that sometimes when that structure is set up and then you get funding opportunities or you start building relationships, that can really take the vision of an association and make it favor one side of the industry more than the other?
Well, you lost me when you set this up and had a structure, because you got to be kidding me.
I will contest there was no structure.
That is a fact. I had an idea.
Yeah.
And a fence group. Okay.
At a winery, 5 years ago, yeah.
But how can it not? You got to be kidding me. I mean, and I think that's why you'll see. I mean, walk around my show and you'll notice that there's certain people that aren't there, right? The ones that would normally be spending all the money and all that stuff at the shows and sponsors, the big sponsors and stuff. Notice the ones that aren't there. And if those are the ones that want certain things to happen in our industry that does the things I don't want, that I think hurt small businesses, and I'm not willing to support that, you lose the funding.
So you're saying it really could provide a huge risk to our industry as a whole when things kind of shift that direction and it's on a funding standpoint. Do you think, like, the blinders kind of go on?
No, it's everything. It's money. I mean, any business would get affected by, let's face it. I mean, even if you're getting cut a deal by a certain supplier that you don't want to buy from, but they give you a better deal on material, it may affect your, you know what I mean? How you're viewed in the industry or something, but it doesn't mean, and I'm not saying, I don't even know when that scenario would be, but yeah, of course it's going to affect you because you're going to make decisions because you don't want to lose this sponsorship. You don't want to lose, the money, the revenue that comes in from this, because these are nonprofits and the money is a big deal. That's what helps support the rest of the events.
Yeah.
What are you guys showing each other stuff?
Well, I was just.
Where are we going next? All right, Kayla.
Dude, I don't know because we've been jumping all over.
Go ahead.
This is rough, you guys. I want to go back to just Sasha and I just,
you know what I love? You're copying it, and I'm just sitting back going, go for it.
Sasha's like, this is
dig it deeper hole, Brian. Keep digging. Dig it.
Well, so I guess, is there anything FWA intentionally chooses not to do? So even if that leaves space for another organization to do?
Well, I think what we don't do is we don't do a lot of training education for once you're already in the industry, once you've already been in it for a while, and unless you're trying to learn something new, and that's because it's already saturated with it. I mean, we've already got everything designed for people. I mean, we've already got advanced classes if you're doing gate operators, advanced fence training, advanced all this. And I think in the beginning, we didn't have enough, beginner stuff. And I think obviously 4 years ago, you would have to wait to find a hands-on training class, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, since
once a year.
Since we started, I mean, hell, I mean, I could throw my phone and hit a hands-on training class going on somewhere behind me, right? So, I mean, everybody in the world's doing. I mean, that's great. It didn't. I mean, honestly, everybody's doing exactly what all that I wanted to happen in the industry. Now, manufacturers, suppliers, other associations, everybody is, and I don't get offended, when someone's like, you were starting to do that in the beginning. I go, great, because I never wanted to do it in the first place.
Yeah, right.
I just wanted somebody else to be doing it, So I think it's great. So I think that's definitely been something I was excited to see happen.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to shift directions and we're going to talk about social media. Let's talk about influences. Let's talk about all these things. So I will tell you that I remember being at the 2023 Fence Show and there were podcasters lined up. And the support from the industry as a whole kind of all came together. And it seemed that there's a lot of that. And now there's not.
Well, what's funny is I remember when I first started FWA, our industry really didn't take our, I want to call them fence podcasters seriously. They didn't. Correct. I mean, and you got Dan Blancs and all those guys that really kind of pioneered even some of the live stuff and all this, but they probably weren't being treated well and by the associations in the industry as a whole. So they weren't being treated well by it. And we came in and really kind of harnessed some of that with these guys and with, all the other podcasts. And that was great to see that energy and the momentum. And now you see a lot more energy. You see a lot of people realizing that, we can promote our own industry, right? And you don't have to spend a ton of money. You don't need as much on the AdWords. You don't need stuff like that. So it did kind of, now, and of course, like anything else, it grows and it evolves and money influences everything. So, and you can't, I mean, it's a business and like everything else. So I'm sure if one group or association wants to throw more money at anybody, they'll shift some of their focus back and forth.
So you're saying that there is a possibility that they're paying to have certain news published and other news not published?
I think that's typically how it works, right? It's advertising. I mean, but I think
I asked the question.
I don't know why you do it. So I guess look at both ways. So I guess what I feel like what really happened is we went more from a media to marketing companies in a way. So it's not really media as much. It's more of a marketing now. And
so it went from real news to fake news.
I didn't say that way. I don't think. I guess. I think we're more. I think in the beginning, I was a lot more excited because I felt like it was more media based and it was about what was going on in the industry and
as a whole.
As a whole, and I think I love that about it, and I loved that energy and that vibe. And when you would talk to people, you would be. I remember even like Dan Wheeler knows. I'd have these phone calls to get off with Dan Wheeler. I was so excited. I mean, I was jazzed and energized. You know what I mean? And even with Dan Blanc, everybody in Canon, remember the whole group and all the stuff they were doing in the beginning, and the energy, man, it was amazing. So there's a lot of great people in our industry, that were doing it. But like I said, it's a business, right? Well, and I mean, I can tell you one thing: doing podcasts aren't free.
Yeah,
it takes a lot of commitment, time, and even this may be an hour here, but a lot of time is spent.
Absolutely.
That you're not on there, and a lot of money, time, equipment, platforms, traveling around and going to these events. It's not free for these guys to just get on a plane and go somewhere. So, I mean, even the money that you might get for, associations or something to come, a lot of it goes to expenses and time away from work because a lot of them have full-time fence companies.
Absolutely.
Right.
So do you think from a leadership standpoint that third-party visibility compared to building something sustainable long-term, to open yourself up and have these open dialogues with third parties or exposing, through their channels or through their networking, have you found that to be, such a huge priority or doing things like this that are on the Women of FWA page that, we're constantly posting these lives and staying in, on everybody's feed and in everybody's page and in everybody's face per se. Do you find one to be, did you find a huge shift when that disconnect happened?
Well, I don't know. What disconnect? Why was?
Well, what I'm saying, I'm saying like the shift in, like we were talking about, we had podcasters that were there in 2023, right? And then now all of a sudden that's kind of changed and it's kind of evolved. Have you found there to be such a huge change or
I don't
as
know.
far as involvement on it?
I don't want to necessarily say that. I mean, I'm always happy when people are succeeding, and seeing the shows grow and seeing it. I think what we really lost focus on maybe with some of this is and even like you said, we feel like it's a competition even amongst, all of that and the viewers, but you can view multiple podcasts. You can do all that. And obviously, some people do get drained saying I watch too many of these. I don't have time to watch another, but what's the true goal of all this is supposed to be? And what it's always been for me is, I mean, look at Desiree and Chris, right?
Yeah.
He may have saw us on a podcast and maybe saw the women of FWA, saw me, saw one of the other podcasts, and that got her into the industry. So I think what we forgot what it's about, and we think that it's about just getting the same people to come on our podcast or the same comments and you know what I mean and everything like that. But it's about that one person. If this podcast brings one person into our industry, it won.
Right.
I've been listening, right? And here's Veronica, I love you and Michaela is because you're asking Brian real questions, and Brian's very good at. The one thing I've learned about Brian is he supports the industry.
Yes.
Me, I'm a little different, right? Because I came out of certain fields and got affected, and I take things a little bit too personal. I'll be the first one to admit it. But when FWA started their first show to where it is today, without FWA, and because there's plenty of room for us, I'm with Brian, there's plenty of room for associations, but at the end of the day, we need to support each other. Don't care what we're doing. We're in fencing. And the biggest the biggest argument that I have and the biggest disrespect that I feel that we're doing to each other is stop it. We're in the same, we need to support. Yes, I'm with Brian. Go to FenceTech, have a booth. Go to FWA, do it. Support FWA women. Support the women movement in AF. I'm in, but support it. Stop playing games and let's support each other. Doing what we're trying to do, which is perfect example is Ansley Fence.
Right. Could you imagine what would happen if we stopped using the energy to work against each other and to not support each other? If we were to take all of that energy and say, hey, let's, we can still be two different associations. We can still be two different groups, but let's combine forces. Let's sit down and have honest, raw, true disagreement.
So powerful as as a fencing industry, because that's what this is all about. And that's what you guys have done as a group. And I'm sorry, I can't be politically correct about that. It's putting all our differences aside and going, hey, in the end of the day, we're putting up fence. You need a fence. Can I supply a fence? Can you teach me how to do this? Can you not teach me? And Brian said that he didn't want to do classes, but I'm sorry. The classes I went to that FWA was putting on, the stuff that FWA women were doing, to me, were really real. Let's put it aside. I'm just a dumb fencing guy, and I just give it to me. Tell me the truth. Where do I got to go? How can I help? And I'm sorry, that's what happens. Whether you want to say it or not, that's exactly why FWA has a moment in fencing, because we need it. But had all of us got together and kumbaya and blah 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 blah.
I only say blah 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 when I don't say blah blah blah.
We would be so strong though if we had a woman in the industry, and I would love, to open that olive branch, which has been there.
Which has been there, because we've actually logged into meetings that another association has had for women in the industry. And, we're very much, we're a member of this association, and we're a member of this association. And really at the end of the day, we just want to hang out.
It would just
you
be
guys
so
are members
powerful.
of other associations?
I know, it's weird.
Crazy.
Okay,
so speaking of, you're attending Fence Tech this year.
And there's a whole lot of chatter
Oh, you are, Brian?
on social
Wow.
media about why in the F would you be attending Fence Tech?
Oh.
Well, I mean, I don't know if people have heard me say this before, but nobody wins if any show doesn't succeed.
Why do you say
And,
that?
I mean,
Go into details
what does that
about
mean?
that. What does that mean?
Because now that we're obviously one of the major shows that happens every year, we've got a little more insight into the industry and the relationships and what it's like to bring it's not easy. I mean, what Fence Tech does to put that thing together,
Right.
whether
Oh,
they're
yeah.
whether they're growing and fighting harder because FWA's here, or whether they were fighting just as hard before, it's irrelevant. It's a lot of work. And to try to convince, I don't care if you've been doing this for your second year, 3 year, 4 year, 10 years, getting somebody out that hasn't done one of the shows in the fence industry, whether it be the fence show, whether it be Fence Tech, whether it be one of the other events going on, to try the fence industry out is not easy. They don't take us seriously. I mean, that's the reason you don't see as many of the big tool companies and stuff. It's really hard to get new people to try our industry out, right? So what if I busted my butt to bring in some new manufacturer that he was doing a lot of concrete shows and door shows and all these other shows, and we convinced him to try our show, and the fence show happened to be his first show, and the fence show wasn't a good show. He may not do Fence Tech. He may say, I tried the fence industry and it was no good. Same thing with Fence Tech. If they bring new people in, which they do every time, that have never done a fence industry show, and they don't have a good show, they might not do the fence show. So they don't just lose somebody in the industry, the other shows do.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
So you're not going to Fence Tech just to walk around in a FWA shirt and strictly endorse the Fence Workers Association?
No.
Then your trip is denied.
And you know what? Let's face it. I mean, there's a large number of the same.
You're done.
And it goes like this too. There's a large number of the same exhibitors that exhibited our show that exhibit at Fence Tech. I mean, there's a big crossover, huge crossover. So if they don't, and even if they've done our show already, they're doing this show. And again, if they're not making, if they don't get an ROI on this show, they may just say they may not make enough money. Maybe this was the difference between them doing 10% of their business this year or 25% of their business this year. So it's our responsibility, especially as association leaders. So, I mean, if you've ever talked to an association leader and they told you not to go to somebody else's show, they're not representing the industry. Because whether I have a problem with one individual at another association, whether I disagree with what their true objective is, I don't disagree with that these exhibitors that are exhibiting there deserve to make an ROI on it. And it's my responsibility to get as many people there as I can. And it doesn't hurt my show. Again, I told you, it's not a zero-sum game. You could go to Fence Tech and then 6 months later come to Las Vegas. In fact, people do, right?
Yeah, but also too, the basic of it is once you're educated, your mind's expanded. So I'm sorry, I'm a supplier and I want to sell fence.
Yeah.
So when I find that we're better to be than a fence show, right? And my issue is when fence professionals, and me and Brian, wording how you chuck it, like that's all rubbish.
Yeah.
If you got to put a fence in, I want to meet you. And I maybe can't help you, but dude, we've got this association that, hey, if I can't help you, Founders Fence can't help you, hey, Joe Smith Fence can, or Supply can. Like, that's the whole point of an association. It's not about how to close a community. It's about expanding it. And that's the difference.
Yes.
So Sasha's like, do you guys remember Miracle on 34th Street?
Yeah.
He's like Kimball's, wasn't he? Kimball's? Right? If he can't get it for you.
Yeah.
I know someone that will get it for you.
Yeah. All right, Michaela.
No, it's
To
your
the
turn
leaders.
now.
Okay. So what do leaders miss when they stop showing up to industry events that they don't control?
Well, you know what? It's funny that you would say that, because you know what I find interesting is a lot of the groups and organizations, especially some of the larger ones, they're fighting for influence, right? They're fighting for that credibility and influence and that connection, but yet maybe you see them more now, but you couldn't. I mean, there was a time when you could be like, the president of one of these organizations could walk by you wouldn't even recognize him.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Why is that so important?
Then you got to ask, who are they trying to get the influence with?
Yeah.
Is it the industry? Is it us? Is it High Point Fence? Right? Was it Las Vegas Fence? Was it SWI? Or who knew them more? And why was it the average fence company didn't know them? And why was it not important that every fence company knew who they were?
Right.
And that's what leaders miss out on when they don't show up to these events. And I think if you're going to take on a role of being an executive at one of these associations or the president of one of these associations, you're not doing justice for your members and everybody else if you don't show up to all the events that you can, because especially if you've got associations that have enough money to send you to all the major events, right?
Right.
That's what I think you miss.
And I think
Connection
that's right.
with the actual industry that you're supposedly representing, and so trying to support.
I like it.
So then again, what's harder as a leader, making the decisions or standing by it once everyone has an opinion?
Oof. My gosh, I'll tell you what's hard is Sasha. If everybody knows, Sasha and I are really close. I mean, we talk a couple times a day. I mean, it's and it's he knows he's probably been through every heartache I've had going on with the association from the beginning, and I've taken a lot of bullets, man. I mean, I've had a lot of stuff that that's been said about me, or it's been people saying, "You believe these people are saying this and this and that," and it's just, and you have to remember and stay focused on the fact that again, it comes back to they're just trying to justify how they're acting, and the only way you can do that sometimes is to
look at the end of the day, without you guys just keeping it real, at the end of the day, who cares, right? The one thing I've learned from all you guys in FWA is, like, at the end of the day, we've got to support the industry. And my whole passion is, where's the future? Like, where is the future in our industry? Like, we're going to close off things and go, you can sell here, you can't, like, or you not can, like, who cares? Because that's going to kill the industry when we've got all this future generation that need to find out why we love our industry. Like,
right. And for that.
Yeah. How do I show the future that, dude, get in the fencing? But if we're going to bicker and moan and complain about, stop it. Because our industry is amazing, and it's not just digging a hole. That's part of it. It's part of that. But there's so much that we can all do, and we've got to just let it go. Who cares? Like, there's plenty of room for all of us. Just shut up and let's just take care of.
But no, hold on. We're going to put a time crunch to that, because the next question I have is actually for both of you.
Oh.
Okay. So how do you make sure that your influence and your voice doesn't turn into ego?
Hard.
How do you
I go back to health insurance, right? So remember, I'm Australian, right? So we have free health. So coming to America, everyone's like health insurance, and then all of a sudden, I've been in the fencing long enough in America, and all of a sudden FWA goes out and puts its money where its mouth is and sets up this healthy, like, do you know how impactful that is? Like, when everyday people are like struggling, and there's an organization that goes, you know what it is, but we're going to set something up and help you out. That's super important to an industry that's traditionally been shat on.
Yeah.
If I can use that word, by how we looked at in the industry. So as basic as when FWA put health insurance out in the market, that was huge. That was such a big, because no one knows what it takes to have these meetings, and we can all talk about it, but only you guys know. You got to have these meetings, you got to organize, you got to go, hey, we're going to have these people come in, and we're going to fight for our members and get them. Like, I'm sorry, that's super important, and that's what we're forgetting. Yeah. We need to focus on what's important in fencing. The rest is all noise, and it's all useless.
But even that, Sash, and going back to what you asked earlier, even that, I mean, even to put something out like that, it's funny is I could go out and create some healthcare plan where you have to have at least 10 people, and at least 5 of those people have to sign up, and it's going to cost you $800 a month and $1,000 a month, and it'd be the best health insurance you could try to find, this, that, and guess what? Nobody'd say a word. They would be like, okay, it's another healthcare plan. But, if you go and you put out something that's going to fit everybody, you fight to find healthcare under $100 a month. And you know what you get? You take a massive amount of heat for it. You get everybody saying, oh, it's this, it's that. But for every one of those, you have 10 people that loved it, right? But you have to take all this heat, and you don't get any encouragement from everybody else. You don't get them, the same people that want to complain. That would have been silent, by the way, for these healthcare that they wouldn't use, that wasn't helping everybody. They'd have their mouths shut. They would be, happy that it went out. They don't try to help you. You don't hear the feedback from associations saying, or other groups saying, hey, what can we do to jump on this? Let's combine them together. Let's try to make this bigger. So that way we've still got
as a group with power. So I'm going to flip this. I'm going to flip it on the ladies.
Yeah.
Ladies, Veronica, Michaela, like you have started an association and you guys are running a women's, and you cannot tell me that you do not have other organizations that have empowering women, right? So you tell me and Brian why you're so passionate and what it is that has inspired you to really take FWA women to the next level.
I think that I've said it. Anybody that's watched me in my journey in this industry over the last 10 years, I said for the first several years that I felt like I was on a deserted island all by myself. I didn't realize that, and not that I didn't have the team that I was with at the time, and not that I couldn't, geek out on fence as I refer to, but it's just different. It's just different to be able to get around women that share the same passion and speak the same language, because the language in this industry is different than most construction industries. Like I came from, born and raised in the construction industry. So when I realized that there were all of these other women in this industry that felt the same way I did, it was like, hey, we should be friends. Like, let's hang out. So we are so different, but at the same time, our sense of humors and the things that we find funny, and that we enjoy to do really are the same. And so it really it formed naturally. Yeah. And we don't look at ourselves as, leaders in the industry are doing something big. We just want to hang out and have some wine and laugh and talk about some fence, and that's it. So,
but let me ask you then. I mean, you said you were part of another women's group and stuff in fencing.
Yes.
Then
I have attended those events.
Then why not just what I said earlier? They're not getting behind us. Why not you guys just get behind that? And why does the Women of FWA exist? Why isn't everybody just involved in that?
We've tried, and
you want me to really say
so it's only you asking tough questions. Is that what it is?
Another lie.
Right, I'm just deflected. I'm a deflecting. No, because I think, Michaela, look, I've watched FWA, and I'm a big pom-pom supporter of FWA, have been from day dot. And it's not because I think other organizations aren't, but I'm in fencing. I just want to meet fence people that I don't want to make it complicated. So I watched you guys take this FWA women's and really make it real. Talk to me like I feel like that's what we're talking about, right?
That's our goal, right? Is to keep it real and just to make those connections. And I think personally, that's why a lot of us get just so upset, is because there's no picking sides when it comes to this, right? We are all in the same industry. It doesn't matter what organization like you're a part of. Come sit with us. Like that's our hashtag at the end of the day, is you can sit with us. And I don't care, who you're a part of.
Australians too? Or?
Australian, yeah, Sasha, come on.
We're in the back line. We know, I know what smell. We get that one. We know that.
Yeah, I think Australians just think they're automatically not invited, but right, Sasha? But you guys are. Okay.
I will too.
Don't forget about the Aussies.
From the very first time that I met Sasha years and years and years ago, which was actually at the 2023 Fence Show and Security Expo, the SWI booth was right across, and Sasha hightailed it across the aisleway, and he's like, "You're Veronica," and I'm like, "Well, I don't know, maybe." And he's like, "No,
here's a rubber chicken."
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
He's like, what you girls are doing, and to be real and to be honest and be genuine. And he said, one of the really cool things is it doesn't matter if I'm seeing you on one of these podcasts or if I see you in real life.
You're the same.
All fucking inappropriate in the whole night.
Well, I think that goes across the board for all of us, right? Is we are get us on a podcast, you see us at the show. And Sasha, you've been a cheerleader since day one. So I really thank you for that.
And we appreciate that so much. So
there's a lot of dads out there too in our industry that want their kids, their daughters, and what you guys are your examples of
Oh Lord.
This is they're bad examples for sure, but that's fencing as a whole. Look at Brian. We're all screwed, right? But my whole point is, how do we encourage that generation to go, hey, it's okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff in our industry. I feel like we're divided because why? It makes no sense at all.
There you go, Saj. See, you can be a cheerleader for the women of FWA, but remember, you don't have to wear the outfits. So knock it off.
Whatever.
Down from here below, you should see what I'm wearing right now.
I love that. Okay, so let's go to the next one. We've still got we've got some more hard questions to ask you.
I thought that this was the wrap up. We did the funny thing. I made fun of him for the cheerleading outfits.
So,
we could close on this, right?
How do you build trust with people that only see the headlines and not the day-to-day work and the dedication that you put in every single day until 2 o'clock in the morning, and then it starts again at 5? We know because we get emails.
I think you build trust by not responding to it and not engaging in that. And if somebody, you're not going to change the opinion of somebody by just telling them they're wrong. So all you can do is hope that eventually they see something you did and say, you know what? And I've had plenty of people say it, you know what? I appreciate that. And I didn't realize you were doing this. And I thought, hey, I thought you were this, I thought you were that. And then I finally met you at one of the events and realized, that, you're like us in a way. And it was like, after I got to know you, then I'm looking forward to where you're going to be at next, the next event. So I think you win by anybody can win in this. You win. It's no different than bad reviews on your Google, right?
Yes.
I mean, what's the number one advice when you get a bad review? Don't respond, right?
Well, I don't necessarily believe in that to an extent.
But if you you bury it with 5 positive reviews, right?
Yes.
So you let it lie and you don't make that the headline, and the headline will just be you arguing with somebody that doesn't like you, and that's gonna turn bad one way or another, because you're gonna end up saying something that you can't take back. Yeah. And then you have no chance of fixing that relationship with that person. At some point, it's just them rambling on and saying something, and they can hope later on when they do meet you that you never saw that, or that you forgot. But once you engage with them, you can't say, I didn't know you said that. Right. So ignore it.
Yeah.
Ignore it.
And sometimes the chatter is really hard. I can tell you in this position change, even when I was with SWI, sometimes not reacting and not, jumping in on that. You're like, you really want to be you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. It's not like when you were a kid and your dad tells you, hey, somebody messes with you, you go and you just sock him in the face.
Punch him in the nose.
No, this is real life, real stuff, and there's a lot of stuff. And you know what? This in FWA failing is not the same as maybe some organizations failing or something. We don't have just golf trips being canceled or things like this. We have hundreds of people losing healthcare, and I don't take that lightly. And then other things that are going on, and a lot of people depend on what we're doing that people don't realize. There's, whether you like the organization or not, there's a lot of people that do, and they use some of the resources, some of the forums and the education and all that. So, and I think it's important for us to keep bringing new people into our industry, and the education that we put out there. I think it's different. I'm not looking to educate a lot of people that are already in it. Almost everything I do is saying, hey, for every 7 people leaving the industry, only 1 to 3 were coming in. And I want to get that back up to 5 or 6 coming in, because I think that that's more important than, sometimes to me, it's more important than educating people already in it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, one of the big differences in this industry in the years that I've been in it is it used to be able to go to any trade show and you ask how many people are here due to family, and it being a generational business. And it was, 70-80% of people would raise their hand and say, oh, my dad or my brother or my uncle or whatever. And we're not seeing that in this industry.
We're chasing them off. We're not. What do you mean? We're ruining it. We're doing every single thing we can to make it harder and harder for small businesses to even for businesses to be passed down to your kids. Why would you get in a business? Why would you get in an industry that's overregulated? Right. Why would you want to pass it off to your kid? And you just spent the last 2 years fighting with building departments and right.
So
Wait, but I just want to go back real quick to picking sides, because I'm still hung up on that, because I think it's stupid that we have to pick a side.
Yeah.
What would you say though to someone who feels like they're being pressured to pick a side between associations?
Pick your friends.
No, just ask them. Ignore it. I mean,
Right.
I don't know what are you, 5? You know what I mean?
That's my biggest thing.
There's not me. There's not a board member on a single one of these associations, no matter how big they are or small they are, that has any influence over your life. None of them at all. They can't really affect. There's so many suppliers out there. There's so many manufacturers. There's so many associations, and they can't affect your business to the level you think they can affect you if that's the case. So just who cares? Again, it goes back to what I said. Ignore it.
Right.
And
It's
it
just
really,
chatter, right?
It's all
I'm
chatter.
really going to say that it really comes down to the morals and the individual as a whole, because
Right.
those that are genuine about our industry and those that really love what we're doing and are passionate about all aspects of it would never ask or make you feel like you
had to.
cannot enjoy both sides of the fence line. Ha
Well,
ha.
we're-
Ha ha.
Wow, we're gonna
You-
get off.
There's something a little extra special about her,
Okay.
right?
Punny.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I just saw. Is that on your? What do we call it? Chat
Okay.
VPT. What did I call it?
Speed round, speed round, speed round.
All right. So, what do you think the biggest misconception of you
That's
is
fun.
in the industry?
Wow.
Oh my
Just-
There's a
god.
lot. That's
Oh.
an hour-long podcast.
Oh my god. But what? I want kids to die.
That you're a cowboy.
Yeah.
Right.
That you don't wear black
I think
sneakers?
it's because I don't blindly follow I don't blindly follow passing laws and regulations and standards and some of the stuff. I don't blindly follow turning voluntary standards into laws and regulations, and therefore I want accidents to happen. I think that's
Right.
probably
Yeah.
the biggest misconception that's out there, and that is probably one of the most annoying ones that if you talk about ones that I have a hard time not responding to, those are them, because it couldn't be any further from it. I want more education out there when it comes to the safety and stuff, but I think we got to get it to the people that are actually building the fences and the gates, and not the government and
Right.
code enforcement
What
officers.
about biggest misconception of FWA as a whole?
Oh, I don't know. Is there one? What would you? A misconception of us. I guess what I think that because we grew so fast, right,
Mhm.
and because we have so many members that they think we're more organized than we are, and and I think that they're what's funny is they're not as forgiving, right? They're like, okay, and so they're looking for you to make a mistake, and like,
No,
why didn't I get this email? Why didn't I get this? And how come somebody didn't respond? But I'm like, I guess that's kind of that misconception, but we're
misconception is that you are taking away from what other organizations. That's the biggest like everyone out there.
Yes.
The reason I love FWA and FWA women, because it's real. All we care about is fencing. While we support it 100% from Founders Fence, rest perspective is really simple. Like, dude, it's just real. Like, you're gonna sell fence. I sell fence. People got install fence. Like, there is no stop misconception that you're trying to bring all these stuff in. Like, just support FWA, and all of us will get along and we'll be fine. There is no misconception. The misconception is that FWA is over here, and it's not. It's not.
I like that
over
because
here.
we're definitely not. There's nothing FWA has done to hurt the industry. If anything, we energized it. We woke it up. I mean, we've had
The sleeping giant.
we've had other association stuff or other groups or whatever that were kind of asleep at the wheel that woke up because of us. There's more. I mean, if you like the direction the industry is going right now, you want us around, because we energized the entire industry. So I guess, that's a big deal what we did. So we definitely didn't hurt it.
So let's keep going with that.
Yeah.
What excites you the most about the direction that FWA and World Fence Federation are headed in right now? Like right now.
I can breathe right now. I feel like that we're getting years later now. We're getting kind of organized. We're getting ahead of the curve. We're getting stuff sent out in order. I know it seems silly to everybody listening, but to get some literature ordered for a show that's happening in October, or stuff like this, and have and even Michaela coming on and having her with the social media manager, and you and Susan, everybody that's kind of working together, everybody it's a whole group with more organization that I'm not as have to be involved in the day-to-day stuff. I see everything just kind of coming together. And I know it's, it's a slow roll. It takes a lot for that, but I see the direction is finally getting into the point where it's going to grow organically.
You know what's crazy is you say it's a slow roll. The FWA and the fence show as a whole, to be at the level that it is in 3 short years, is nothing short of absolutely magic. And I mean, it was like the perfect storm and something that you should be super proud of. So most people's version of a slow roll might be like really 1 or 2 miles an hour. And then Brian's version of a slow roll is that's got to be 150 miles an hour.
We're taking Sundays off now. So
but you know, church on Sunday. Yes.
You know what I'm really excited about though? We're finally, because they're doing everything they're doing, I'm finally able to sit back, and now we're revamping our websites. We're going to get all the resources more organized. We have so much stuff out there that we rolled out over the years.
Oh, absolutely.
That it's that you guys maybe listening probably don't even remember. Maybe I launched it and we promoted it for a month, and there
were things that
no, I know of a couple that were launched.
But there's stuff there's stuff people are using that nobody even probably if we kept promoting it, but it was just so much coming out so fast that it's nice to finally get it all organized. And we're going to have some nice new hubs, and the new fence show site was cool that just went out this week. Cool. And one which is a lot more user friendly. And then we're going to be redoing the fence workers one, fence magazine site. We've got a lot of cool stuff.
There's so much going on.
So it's fun for me to step back and work on that, now.
And it's really awesome to watch you be able to kind of recharge and to take care of Yadira and to not feel like you are constantly having to pick one or the other, and to recharge your batteries and kind of come in it because you're having a chance to do things on a passion level still, and not just on a I have to level still. So it's been really cool.
I think this will be the first year going into the fence show and during the fence show where I probably won't almost get a divorce. So because
that's my goal.
Right? Okay.
So
I can't guarantee it, but I'm just saying.
That's my goal.
So it is nice to be able to step back and enjoy it a little bit, everything that we built.
All right. So we're almost done. We got a few more questions.
Yeah. I guess 5 years from now, what do you want people to say about how you led during the last few years?
How I led? I think I want people to say that we inspired people to step up a little bit, and we inspired them to get involved in the industry, and maybe they went to another vertical. Maybe they were a fence company that used to close down during certain times of year, and they said, hey, we taught them how to do gate operators, so now they're doing service calls during the winter because that never goes away. Or maybe they got into staining because when the fence slowed, they could do staining. I mean, I think I want them to look back and say, because you're talking about me personally. So I think for me, I want them to look back and say, you know what, Brian woke everything up, and now it's just, we changed it. I don't think you can undo what I did, to be honest. I think it's.
I think it was a permanent wave.
With or without me, at this point, the industry is different. The associations and the groups and the organizations and manufacturers and suppliers, they look at small fence companies differently than they looked at before, because they realize that, hey, if we don't do this, FWA is going to do it.
Right.
And so now there's new channels for them. There's new groups. There's new training. There's suppliers and manufacturers are trying to sign people up at the shows now, instead of saying go online and fill out an application and maybe we'll get back to you and sell to you if we don't have competition already of a bigger company in that area. They're fighting now more for every company and realizing that that we're a majority.
Right.
So that I don't think it can be undone. So that's what I want people to look back at. And hopefully there's whole new leadership here, you know what I mean? And I'm chasing other dreams that I have, hopefully, but I hope they look back and say that we were part of that. And I, was a major influence on it.
Okay. So here's the last question of the night. Oof. Are you ready?
No. Can I read it first?
No, it's not even on there. One of the
it's light over where I'm at, just so you know. So wow.
It's just like, oh,
I think one of the really cool things about our dynamic working together is that, I came from an installation world as well, and so did you. So we get into talking about a lot of things, and it's crazy because we can speak that language. and we communicate the same way on a lot of things. And when I say I'm busy, I can't right now, I'm really not telling you to go fuck yourself. Like, I just really can't focus on anything else at the moment. So I think one of the things that you touched base on tonight was we're talking about regulations, and we're talking about consumer protection groups, and we're talking, and you've mentioned these things time and time and time again over the last few years. My question for you is, are you willing to do another one of these lives where we're having the hard questions on the importance of not only in the gate world, but what about how does this affect all of the fence installers that don't do gates? Because I know they're like, well, I'm not worried about this. That doesn't fall under my wheelhouse. I don't do gates, and there's a reason.
Well, I think
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I like that one.
you guys have to freeze with me for that to work, okay? No, I'll do it. You know what? I'll go on any podcast anytime and talk about anything. I don't think there's anything that I haven't said publicly, you know what I mean, on another podcast or to somebody else at a show or anything. I am so true to what I believe and what I think is going to hurt the fence industry and what I think is going to help the fence industry and what I think is important to protect and what I think that we shouldn't change and what I think we should change, that I don't stray from it. I mean, I'm to a fault that, you know, it costs us sponsorships or it'll cost us an exhibitor or or even members or support. I'm so true to that it's already out there.
It's even cost you vendors
for
for Las Vegas fence.
Oh, for sure.
So not only just FWA, involvement, but Las Vegas Fence for an established company that has set a name for itself in the Las Vegas Valley, which is one of the hardest places to do business ever. I mean, it makes California look like child's play.
We are the worst. I mean, and maybe I'm so passionate about this because we are in the most regulated state, I believe, in the country when it comes to fencing and gate operators. I don't think there's another one that's worse than the state of Nevada. And I happen to own a company in that state that's been operating for obviously a long time. So when I get nervous about the path we're going down, and then I talk to now, because of what we're doing, I talk to people all over the world, not just in the country. And I see the path we're going on, and I talk to...
No. Oh. That's a whole nother live. So, Sasha, thank you. I'm really glad that you were here and we're able to bring some of the not politically correct answers to the table where our hands are kind of tied. We absolutely love you and adore you and appreciate your support.
Can we before Sasha goes, can we talk about Rest for a minute? Because you're not in the U.S., but we got amazing.
No, I'm technically in the U.S., but I'm in Puerto
Rico. But your water's swirling the other direction wherever you're at, right? So tell us about what's going on in Puerto Rico, right?
So Rest, we have Yadira on the board, Jesse and myself, and we have board members that we started a charity that our goal is, in this case in Puerto Rico, is to do a medical ministry. So we got doctors and dentists coming out to Puerto Rico because it's people don't understand that after the hurricanes, Puerto Rico got pretty smashed, and being our brothers and sisters across the pond. So Jesse, my wife Jesse, and myself are here. We met with some government officials. We met some churches, and we're putting together a team that's going to come over in July 31st and just fix the needs and be part of the needs that Puerto Rico needs. And there's a lot of needs they need. That's a lot of needs. Yeah. So Rest. Yeah. That's what we're up to. So
your support goes further than just the industry itself, but to humanity and to mankind and to those that are less fortunate in countries that don't have the resources and the means. It really says a lot about who you are, Sasha, which makes us even more proud of the friendships that have come out of FWA and the relationships that have come out of FWA to be able to build a network of just genuinely good people.
Yeah.
And there's
the
a lot of
whole point is, if we're not taking care of our industry, like Rest's whole motto is we're not going outside of America, and people forget that Puerto Rico is America. Our whole goal is we're community-based charity. You know, I have a fence supply company that me and Brett run. We own. But it's like the whole point is if we can't give back, which I feel like that's what we've been talking about tonight. If you can't give back to your community, then what are you doing? Like it doesn't make any sense that we don't take care of our neighborhoods. So Rest Passion is all about. There's great organisations that do, and I think you guys were talking about organisations. So me and my wife started this charity purely on the fact that we can't compete with all these organisations that go around the world doing, but we're not trying to. We just
not what it's about. It's just about doing your part.
It's about your community and taking care of community, and I think that's what we've been talking about all night tonight. Is at the end of the day, if we're not taking care of our community, why are we doing it? Like I don't care putting up fence or selling fence. I really don't give a shit. At the end of the day, what matters is we're all in this together. How do I help? How do you help me grow? How do I help you grow? Who do you know that can help me? And blah, 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 blah. Because that's what this is all about.
But these relationships,
that's what Rest is about. Yeah.
like this relationship may have came from the Fence Show and Security Expo and things like that, but that doesn't mean you can't get that same kind of relationship that we have or the bonds that we get at any event. Like I think I said it earlier, you could go to any event that's in the industry and you just happen to be standing there in line to get a drink, or maybe you're getting an hors d'oeuvre or talking to somebody at a demo or something, and you could build this kind of relationship and bond. But I'm excited because I'm going to be seeing you in a few days, probably, right?
Yes.
Coming up,
we're gonna coming back, and look, just like my wife and myself had an amazing meeting with the mayor of Ponce in Puerto Rico, and that was the one thing we sold them on, and was like, hey, we're not here to change what you're doing. How do we support you? Same with what we're going to be doing very soon. Come back before, because we're not about making a divide. How do we support what the industry's doing?
So Sasha's picking me up Tuesday. We're driving down to San Diego. We're going to take a red eye out to Fence Tech. So we're going to be there, and we're meeting Charlie from One Tap. He's meeting us out there. So typical, we don't have our wives with us. So typical man fashion. Charlie's coming in Tuesday night, and he's getting a room Tuesday night. And then we're going to use his room probably to shower in and stuff, right? Because that way, so we're taking the red eye, right? Yeah. And then and then we'll get that way we don't have to get we saved 2 rooms for one night, right?
Absolutely, I love that.
Right? We'll sleep on the plane.
Okay.
So anyway, so we're gonna see you on Tuesday, man.
Hey, last plug for Rest.
Yeah.
Anyone that wants to get involved, we'll send you a link. We need help. You know, money's great, support's great.
Absolutely.
Let's go do it. Let's go help other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Time, effort, word. Sometimes the biggest support that you can give and the biggest impact that you can make is just time.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with, money and that kind of support.
So I think how you donate the money is you send it to Brian Fredrickson at gmail.com.
That's not even an email.
Is that weird? You sell it to that email address? Is that it?
Right.
No, whoever's listening, do not sell money to that email address. It wasn't real.
No. Okay. So real quick rundown, thefenshow.com website launched yesterday. We are still updating some photos on exhibitor booths. It is super cool. The team behind the scenes has been working diligently to make sure that's up and running. It's easy. Our events are all on there. We have the fence crews coming up. We have demo days coming up. We have the Women of FWA retreat coming up. And of course, we have the Fence Show 2026 in October. So it is huge. We went, the FWA team went from 1 event to 4. So it is huge in 2026. We're not stopping. We're going to keep going. We do want to thank Desiree and Chris for their time and their support. You talk about friendships and things that develop in this industry. And Desi was one of those. that turned around and grabbed all of our hearts at Women of FWA. We brought her in. We love her. We could not imagine our group and the support without her voice and without her opinion. And anybody that is friends with her that reads about her neighbor Karen, by God, if you're having a bad day,
funny.
Karen will top it because Desiree writes those stories perfectly.
Just ask her.
Yeah.
Desi, thumbs up. Can we pull you back up?
We're gonna pull you
Desiree,
back up,
we're gonna pull you
Desi.
back up. Are you ready? Give us a thumbs up because we can see you. Okay, go ahead. There's a baby coming.
Oh, there's the baby.
Oh, there it is.
We're in the home office, and my toddler got the marker and drew all over. It's great.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you,
Christopher's
Sasha.
here too with his broken foot.
Christopher, we cannot wait to see you guys and spend more time with you and continue to build this and have you guys a part of our fence fam.
Awesome. And I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys in March as well.
I love all y'all.
Thanks
see
for
you guys.
having us.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks,
See you guys.
guys. See ya.